You
So,
are such a picky landlord.
So picky.
well, let me ask you this. How many customers have you had that didn't pay your bill?
They
And
eventually
how
all
does that
pay.
make
They eventually all pay.
Yep.
I find that
they all
hard to
do.
believe, Brad.
They eventually all pay. I learned a lot in those first few years. So
Mhm.
I did have some bad debt that we had to do some write-offs with because I made some
I
very poor
I
decisions.
and I
Yep.
bring this up because I too just quickly rented space when I started my business and said, "Oh, you got money in the bank, you're going to pay your bill. Here's some space." 6 months later, $35,000 lost rent plus legal. I got my space back. And from there,
Yay!
I would rather sit on empty space than rent if
Yep.
the tenant isn't going to pay the bill.
Right.
Right.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah. So, Tom, just real quick, what are like 3 things that business owners that are currently thinking about buying, they're currently running, but they're thinking about buying physical property?
Yep.
What are 3 quick things that you would like them to understand on if they did, it'll impact their business?
I got a good one. Bought a building.
All right.
Received the
Mhm.
tax bill. It went up 66%. The tenant's responsible for the tax bill. That increase was $44,000. So my question is, how does that impact your business if you got a surprise $44,000 bill? The next question
Right.
is, if you buy a building, and again, your business isn't buying buildings, you're going to rely on some third-party inspector who's only going to call out the cosmetic bullshit that they find.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's snow-covered roof, and you find out 6 months later it needs a new roof, and that bill's $150,000. So now you're up to almost $210,000 if I do my math right? 66 and 150, 210,
Mhm.
215. How does that impact your life? How does that impact your business? And how are you going to pay for those things? And how do you move forward?